Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the School of Visual Arts. How about welcoming each other with a round of applause? It's so great to see you. Thank you for coming. It's really an honor to have you here at SVA. My name is Matthew Farina. I'm the Associate Executive Director of Admissions. So I'm then on the team that's going to be looking at your application and your portfolio when you apply, which is very exciting. And we do go through each application and portfolio very carefully. I'm going to be giving you some portfolio and application advice in a little while. But first, I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of the day. This is our third open house event. And we break them out by major. So of course you're here to see either BFA Comics, BFA Illustration, or BFA Photography and Video. And if you're interested in potentially some other SVA majors, you'd be able to check out our previous open houses on YouTube. The presentations are archived there. And then you can also come back and see us for a tour which we offer each weekday on campus. A little bit more about the college search process. Some of the points I'm going to be making would touch on factors that you might want to consider when looking at schools, including SVA and things you're going to be thinking about today, like faculty, location, facilities, community, the curriculum, the student artwork, and how you connect with that. The notable alumni are the folks that went to that college, and you saw some of those luminaries in our introductory video. The careers that you're pursuing, and this might be a little bit more expansive, especially for you parents and guardians who are maybe not so sure about this art career or this particular creative path that your child is bringing you here today to think about. But we're hoping to open your eyes and ears to what's out there in terms of getting a job, making a living in the arts, which is absolutely possible. And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to be talking about the application requirements and really set you off for the day, so you know not just if you want to come here, but what you need to do to get in, and also cover portfolio tips and talk to you about scholarships and financial aid. I hope you got a chance to talk to financial aid representatives that were in the lobby today, as well as reps from our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office, and VASA, which is our student government. There's chances to interact with them after today's event through the admissions office if you like. SVA is quite established here in the city, nearly 80 years here in Manhattan. And we take these events very seriously, and we're very honored that you're here. So I have a bit of an esteemed welcome. SVA's president has come to meet you today. So he's going to tell you a little bit more about his perspective on the day and maybe give you a little bit of advice. So please welcome SVA's president, David Rhodes.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for coming and for including SVA as part of your college search. I surmise from the fact that you're here that you've managed to narrow down your choices somewhat, and so you won't repeat my experience. In spring break of her junior year, my daughter decided she wanted to visit colleges to get ready for the following year when she was a senior. She picked out a few, 9 in fact, and we proceeded to visit all 9 in 5 days. First day was really good. We got 3 done. Of course, she didn't attend any of those. But there was a happy accident. As we were driving home, I suggested she might want to visit a college that we were passing on I-95 in Connecticut. She agreed, we did. That's where she graduated from. So the moral of the story, of course, is that 1, there are happy accidents. They happen all the time. But 2, your college search is going to end in a positive way. Come April, you will be deciding which offer you intend to accept. So I think the best thing to do is take a deep breath and relax. Everything's going to work out fine in the end. As Matthew said, SVA is fast approaching its 80th year, which in people terms seems like a long time, but in the history of colleges and universities, it isn't. In the United States, the oldest college is Harvard, founded in 1636, October 28th, so they just finished their 399th anniversary. But by comparison with the University of Bologna, founded in 1088, they're really young. And the University of Bologna is not so old either. There's the University of Al-Quran in Fez, Morocco. That's 1859. And they're actually recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records and UNESCO as the oldest continuously operating degree-granting university in the world, or at least this world anyway. However, in our relatively brief history, SVA has managed to establish a worldwide reputation for excellence in arts education. We enroll students from all but 2 of the 50 states and more than 50 foreign countries. But at least 3 things make SVA unique. SVA pioneered the academic advisor system. Each of you, if you enroll here, will be given an academic advisor assigned to your major and year, and you will stay with that academic advisor for all 4 years. Others have tried to adopt this system, but ours is the oldest and clearly the most robust. Similarly, as Matthew pointed out, SVA pioneered the idea of hiring working professionals as members of the faculty. The idea there is that, of course, you will get the most up-to-date information since they will have it. They are defining of the professions you intend to enter. Again, our colleagues have adopted this, but we think we've refined it and extended the practice in ways that others have not. Finally, we think SVA is unique in having minimized internal bureaucracy. As a result, SVA can change its curriculum expeditiously as the fields change and the requirements of the profession dictate. By way of example, the 3 departments represented today are integrating generative AI into their curricula, but in all 3 cases, it's different. And that's reflective of the state of the art of the profession. All of this is to say, if you want to be part of a vibrant, changing community of like-minded artists, we would like to have you at SVA this coming fall. And if, after due consideration, you decide to enroll elsewhere, please remember that we accept transfer students. On that note, let me close by wishing you all safe home, enjoy the day, and please ask questions, particularly of the student panel. Thank you.
Thank you, President Rhodes. So a little more from me, and I want to talk about studying in New York City. I know some of you live here already. Others have come from the tri-state area, or in some cases even further away, to be here today and think about what it would be like to go to college here in New York City. I'd say it's a great place to live. It's a fantastic place to be a student, but even more so, a student in the arts. There's really no better place to be. From access to creative resources, inspiration, green spaces, conveniences, art supply stores, the connection to the industry, just so much here that's very lively and would really inspire most anyone to make excellent work and engage with their practice. Coincidentally, 12% of all creative jobs in the U.S. are right here in New York City, so it's common for our alumni to stay in the area after graduation to sustain their work. And an average day might take you from one end of the city to the other, to Central Park or lunch in Madison Square Park and go to a lecture, your studio, practices in the afternoon, meeting friends, going to see an independent film or some gallery shows, really ever-expanding list of things that you could do to keep busy and have a lot of fun while you're in school. And then the museums, of course. Your SVA ID provides you free access to 3 of the largest museums. That's really fantastic, and students take advantage of it. And then other things to do beyond our college that you can take advantage of in the city as well. So there's really just no better place to be a student in my mind. The professional faculty. So these are individuals you'll glean a little bit more about today. The concept is that they're working professionals in their field, right? So they are doing the thing that they're going to be teaching you, coming from their photography studio or from their magazine job or as a book publisher, in editorial work for graphic novels or illustration, really have that connection, give you the latest advice, and show you what it's like to be in that space, what the challenges are, what the joys are, the pressures, how to navigate certain situations. And you want to take advantage of this time. You heard our alumnus, Kenny Scharf, in the video say, take advantage, get involved. You really want to do that. Even if you are a bit shy, potentially. It's a generalization, but some creative students come to us feeling a bit shy, stepping out of your comfort zone and shaking hands, going to that opening, approaching that person that you admire, making a connection with your faculty member that lasts beyond graduation. All these things really, really help your experience and would bridge that connection between school and the workplace. Also talk about accreditation. So SVA is an accredited college regionally by the Middle States Association. We're also part of the National Portfolio Day Association. Did anybody attend any of the Portfolio Days here on the East Coast? Yes, okay, I see a lot of hands. Most of those have passed in this area. You'd be able to go to a free virtual or online Portfolio Day on December 6th and January 11th, I believe, and you can check those events out online, get advice from various art colleges, of course, including SVA. Today, we're not giving portfolio feedback. This is kind of your chance to tour, to talk to us, to learn about the college, and we're happy to give you portfolio feedback at one of those events or if you contact the admissions office. This is the layout of our campus. East to west, you could probably walk the urban campus in about 20 minutes, depending on your pace. So Kips Bay or Gramercy area all the way over into Chelsea. I'd say on an average day for an SVA student, you wouldn't be crossing town every day of the week. Maybe twice a week, depending on your schedule, to go to an elective course or a humanities and sciences or an art history lecture. But otherwise, for instance, in the case of the majors featured today, our freshman residence hall is just next door or a couple blocks from the studio building that you'd be taking most of your classes in. So they're definitely a localized focus. But I would say not having an enclosed campus with a quad and a fence around it is really wonderful and allows you to immerse yourself in the city, and students really like walking between buildings, and that not everything is an SVA building, that you're really living life in New York City for the reasons I mentioned earlier. You'll see on the east side when we do our tours and housing tours that we were named SVA Way. There's a street sign, it was co-named in 2024, so we're very proud of that, and it speaks to the legacy of how well established SVA is right here in Manhattan, in that neighborhood. The facilities, I won't go into too much detail here, but the idea is that we're keeping our facilities to an industry standard. So we really want, again, that bridge from the classroom to the workplace, for you to know what is being used, the latest technologies, and of course, President Rhodes mentioned AI and developing curricula here at SVA to keep on top of that and to be sure you know your tools. And this is one thing that you'll, I think, see today. And then speak to the student panels, too, about how they're using the facilities, how well-resourced they think they are, and how they're getting their needs met while they're pursuing their creative life here at SVA. You also have the chance to live on campus here if you'd like. SVA is fully located in Manhattan. All 4 of our residence halls are as well. We have the freshman residence hall called the 23rd Street Residence that we're going to be opening up for tours. We'll also show another one, the 24th Street Residence Hall, just a few blocks away on request. And then we have a Gramercy Women's Residence right in Gramercy Park, which is a beautiful area. And then further downtown, we have the Ludlow Residence Hall. These are really fantastic spaces. Students that choose to live in the residence hall, and I'd say about a third of SVA students do so. You'd be able to immerse yourself in a social environment that's very unique, very inclusive. There are apartment-style setups, so you'd have potentially a roommate, a common space, and there'd be another bedroom or 2 with other suite mates. You'd have a kitchenette in your room, and then there are also common spaces, larger kitchens. There's some fitness centers in some of them, roof terrace, yoga room, and then student centers on each end of town that you'd be able to use to get work done or study late, finish a project, or meet friends for student clubs. And on that note, the sense of community is huge here. I'd say you want to look at a college in terms of what it's going to do for you, the faculty, facilities, all of that, of course, but thinking about the community and the level of care. Here at SVA, people really will care about you. You'll have an academic advisor that knows your name. You'll have a department chair that's invested in what you're doing, that cares about your future, and other students to come together, not just in your major, but beyond. We're pretty large for an art college, so you'd be able to interact and join student clubs. And the clubs have a ton of fun. VASA, which I mentioned, the Student Government or Visual Arts Student Association, they organize all kinds of events, from an amazing Halloween party that just passed a bit ago to dog therapy during finals week. So you can come down to the student center and hang out with some dogs to kind of relieve some stress, or have your own radio show on WSVA, our student-run radio station. Join a number of student clubs, and I'm listing just a small smattering of them here. We have many more than this, and this changes every year depending on student interest, from hiking club, volleyball club, Black Student Union, Chinese Student Organization, Gamers Guild, and beyond. And those are open, by the way, to those in our residence halls and commuters, of course. The connection to the industry, so you'll hear about this, and I encourage you to talk to the student panelists about their engagement with the outside working world. SVA has a career development office and career fairs where we invite companies to come recruit our students for internships or jobs. So I know you'll recognize some of these logos. We also have an online job board that's exclusively for SVA students. Also spaces that we've kept up, very tidy, including some professionally appointed galleries with curatorial staff, and this theater, the SVA Theater. It's the 2nd largest screen in Manhattan, and it's definitely instrumental in showcasing the work for lens-based students or students with in animation, film, and video work. We also have outside established relationships, for instance, New York City Comic-Con, where our cartoon allies present their work and have an amazing booth. So there's this connection beyond just the internships, where you'd be able to show your work and then also exhibit your work while you're a student. So the idea is kind of getting yourself out there right here in Manhattan and building that resume or CV as you approach graduation. So the curriculum is very focused here too, and this is, I think, something else you'll think about while you're hearing the department presentations. The level of connection with the actual industry. It's not that we're sending you in a kind of generalized education for a couple years before we get real or get focused on illustration, comics, or photography and video. It's very focused from the beginning, and that's very intentional. We have a wide array of majors, well, 11 here, and I'm listing them so that you can kind of run your eyes across this list and just get a sense of what we offer. Of course, all visual arts related majors. And the focus here today, we're thinking of expanding that with the conception of what you do after graduation. So what do our alumni do? You met some of them in the video. I know you are familiar with some of the names, some of the people that have gone here, and I'll show you pictures of them in a moment. But thinking about what the jobs are, and again, this is for you parents and guardians, thinking about what kinds of things, when you picture it, your student is going to be doing with the degree that they earn here at SVA. So these shift. I feel like some of you might be doing jobs that do not exist yet, which is also exciting. But thinking about how you're going to apply your creativity and your particular sense of identity to the work is a very cool and exciting idea. Here are some alumni. We're very, very proud of them. And you'll hear more from students about the alumni that inspire them to come here or to do their work. I want to shift for a second and talk to you about our department chairs. I'm going to introduce them. These are the people, these are your North Stars, the people that design your curriculum, inspire you, oversee the faculty, the people that you'd have a chance to get to know through your experience at SVA, and really the leaders for your particular major. So I'm going to start with Victor Cohen, who is the chair of our BFA Comics and BFA Illustration major. He is a core faculty at the MFA Illustration program here and a founder of the SVA Illustration Residency. Victor holds a BFA from the Bezalel Academy of Arts and Design in Jerusalem and an MFA in Illustration with honors from SVA. His distinctions include American Illustration Awards, Graphies Gold Awards, 3x3 Magazine Educator of the Year, and Communication Arts Magazine Award of Excellence. Victor's clients include the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Time, Newsweek, Esquire, National Geographic, Rolling Stone, Wired, ESPN, The Atlantic, Penguin Random House, HarperCollins, Atlantic Records, Virgin, and the BBC. His prints and posters are regularly exhibited in galleries and museums around the world and featured in numerous magazines, articles, and books. Victor is a TED speaker who lectures for academic and professional institutions and conferences, among others. And he's the member of the Adobe Photoshop Advisory Council and the Photoville Board of Directors. So please meet Victor Cohen, who is here, right back there. You'll meet him soon. Thank you, Victor. And next, Joseph Maida is the chair of BFA Photography and Video. Joe is an artist, writer, and educator who's exhibited extensively in the United States, Europe, and Asia. Maida has had solo exhibitions at Wallspace, Daniel Cooney Fine Art, the Nikon Salons, Tokyo and Osaka, among others. His work has been included in group exhibitions in New York, Madrid, Rotterdam, Amsterdam, Berlin, Vienna, and London. Maida's commissioned work has also appeared in publications such as the New York Times Magazine, New York Magazine, W, Wallpaper, and Vice. Maida's work and writing are featured in numerous anthologies on the history of photography, and his pictures are the subject of 4 monographs, including his latest collaboration with Ansel Adams Archives, Born Free, Born Equal. Maida earned his BA summa cum laude in architecture and art history from Columbia University and his MFA in photography from Yale University. This is Joseph Maida. Okay, just a bit more from me, and it's about the application process. You will get an application fee waiver for attending this open house, so you've already saved yourself $50. That's great. Our form is very easy, and I'd recommend using the same email address that you use to register for this event when you apply. I know some of you have already started the application because it is already open now for fall 2026. The form is completely online. SVA, as yet, has its own application form. Beginning November 15th, we will also be on the Common App. So if some of you are applying there and you're interested in applying to SVA on the Common App, you can shift starting November 15th or later and apply there. Until that point, for instance, if you already are ready to get going, just go on the SVA website at sva.edu/apply, and you can fill out our own form. We've made it as simple as possible. You could probably fill this out anywhere between, I'd say, 20 to 30 minutes if you have all the information and your statement of intent written. Some of you want to write your essay in advance because you're going to need that for any college you apply to. For instance, the Common App, it's one of the blanket questions that they ask you. So have your college essay ready. Official transcripts, whoops, I'm going to go back here. Official transcripts from your school. So you'd want to go to your guidance office and ask them to send SVA official transcripts. For some of you use Naviance, you could put SVA in there and they'll send us a digital record. If any of you are transfer students, you'd want to send us a college transcript officially from each college that you've been to. SVA is test optional, so some of you may have taken the SAT or ACT score. You can send that in if you are proud of your score. It can sort of help but not hurt. That's up to you. And then finally, the portfolio. So a few different requirements based on your particular major. And of course, I'll focus on the programs here today. We use the Slide Room website, which you can see is very easy to drag and drop your work, add information. You just have to have clear, crisp digital images ready to go. And for the actual content, what to send in, those applying to photography and video, we're looking for 10 to 20 slides, which could be photographs or video work. So Slide Room allows upload of multimedia work. You could have video work, for instance, of a few minutes that you put in here. For photography and video applicants, we're looking for at least 5 photographs, and those could be film developing, if you have that experience, or digital. At least 5, but could be more. Combination of photos and videos to get up to potentially 20, minimum 10. Then for illustration and comics applicants, I'm going to skip you down to the final bracket here. Also up to 20, it's 15 to 20 slides. This is an open-ended requirement that might include drawings, paintings, printmaking, collage, or 3D work. We want to see, and this is covered in detail on our website, at least 3 examples of direct observation work. So drawing or painting created from a real life situation, whether that's a still life, a figure drawing, landscape, something where you weren't copying from a picture. But beyond those 3, up to the 20 images, it could be anything you want, including graphic novel or comic samples, if you have that. If you are really interested in book illustration or editorial illustration and you have examples, send that in. We really like a more customized, major-specific portfolio, and mostly to see your interests. In every college is going to be a little bit different with what they're looking for here, but SVA wants to see what you're interested in, what you're having fun with, and a little bit of a breadth of your skills. So you can talk to us, as I've mentioned, some future opportunities, or even talk to your art teacher, potentially about curating work. Some of you I know have a lot of work, or sketchbooks, for instance, where you've just created so much you kind of don't know what to send. Get that advice, because it can be difficult to pare down, and sometimes you don't know what your best work is, right? So have them help you, and we can assist as well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your work by some certain deadlines, which I'll talk about next. First, the FAFSA. So October 1st, the FAFSA opened. This is the free application for federal student aid. It's a government form that allows students to apply for need-based aid for colleges. So this is one form that would address all colleges. You would just need to write down inside the FAFSA the colleges that you're applying to. And you could do this even before you've applied or been admitted to those schools. So I would just go crazy, write down every college that you're thinking of. Of course, include SVA. This would allow us at the point of admission to pull down that information securely and evaluate you for need-based financial aid. So you'd get that package shortly after being admitted, and you'd have a sense of what the finances look like for attending here. And then for applying in general, for you applicants, we have a December 1st early action program. So this is a non-binding early action process for first-time freshmen, so those of you that are seniors in high school. It's a month away, but if you can get everything into us, including your submitted portfolio by that deadline, you would get reviewed for scholarship early, and you'd get a admissions decision before the winter break. right? So you could be off of school and know that you got into one of your, potentially top choice colleges, which is phenomenal. If you need a little more information, or more time rather, February 1st is the general scholarship consideration deadline for freshmen. So these dates will sync up with some other schools. It's likely if you're applying to a bunch of schools, you'll be aiming for some particular deadlines at the same time. Any transfer applicants here, you have until March 1st to apply and be considered for merit scholarships. For those of you that are in the 5 boroughs and attend a high school in the 5 boroughs, we have a special financial initiative. You could get an enhanced scholarship. We're really interested in making it possible for you to get here, so contact us if you want more information about this program. For this and the merit scholarship competition, we review you automatically without a special form. So anyone who meets those particular deadlines that I talked about will be evaluated automatically. Okay, I'm coming in for a landing here and closing out with just some details on our event. We will be concluding by 3:30 p.m. Some of you will be done before that time as well. So we're offering shuttle buses between the ends of campus. I mentioned the urban campus. Not actually that far away to get to the departments on the east side that we're going to be touring. But we provide the shuttle buses just for convenience today, that you have families with you. And at the end of the day, you can come back here by shuttle bus, for instance, if you need to link up with your car. So we'll be done by 3:30. And then the actual session. So for those of you here for comics and illustration, you're actually going to be staying put after just a changeover of a few minutes and hearing from Chair Victor Cohen and a Q&A session with current students from the department. So that's your chance to ask questions and hear from their perspective. We're going to provide lunch, which is catered from Panera, and then you'd be able to tour the department after that. So we'll take shuttle buses to the east side, you'll tour the facilities, and then have a chance to take the optional housing tour. So we'll lead you to the housing tour automatically. Obviously, if you're not interested in living on campus, you just wouldn't have to do that part and your day would be done just prior. And then secondly, for photography and video, momentarily you're going to be standing and crossing the hallway here into another theater in this building and hearing a presentation from Joseph Maida and a Q&A session with current photography and video students, and I hope you enjoy that. Then you'll be moving over to the facilities on the east side by shuttle bus and having lunch there, seeing a screening of student work, seeing exhibitions, and really getting a sense of the department. Again, a housing tour would follow that point for you as well. So at this point, why don't we start to transition with our illustration and comics guests staying put, please. And we will invite photography and video guests to stand and cross the hallway into your department presentation. Enjoy. Thank you, thank you. Okay, we'll just be a few minutes and we'll start illustration and comics.